Hey Fiber friends, it's Michelle. Welcome back to another episode of Stashdown, an ironic knitting chat that we're going to hopefully make less ironic in 2026 by shopping our stashes. Michelle, right? Yes. Yes. For the most part. Yes. I am still trying to figure out if I think this microphone is doing a good job. I still find myself while I'm listening back and making edits, trying to hear myself. And when I listen to it, I don't have them in today because for some reason I did not get the left hearing aid into its little dock in the charger last night appropriately, and so it was hanging out not in its little hole all night long and did not charge, and in fact died. And I took the whole shebang to work today with me and proceeded to leave it in the car, and I just didn't feel like going all the way back out to the car in the cold to get it, bring it into my office and plug it in. So I don't have them in now, but when I listen back with my hearing aids in, and so I should be able to hear everything maximally that way. And I'm still struggling, so I imagine that some of you are still trying to hear what the heck I'm saying, and unless you're wearing like noise canceling headphones, it might be hard sometimes when I drift off into a quieter tone for dramatic effect. So I apologize. I was hoping that this microphone situation would mitigate all of that and I could talk as low and like this as I can, as I want to, and not think about it. And the microphone would pick it up. And I am not necessarily a quiet person. I can be a pretty loud talker. So it shouldn't be a problem for me at all. But yeah, I'm still a work in progress. So we're trying it. And today I just went with what I was wearing. I have my little Highland Cow coveralls on today, overalls, because that's what I was wearing to work. And normally I try to wear something knitting related. So then I tried to throw this Through Lines shawl on so that I was at least wearing something, but then I realized it was going to cover up the microphone, so I can't win today. So I'm just not wearing a knitting related item of clothing. But I figure one of the things that I always get in my Instagram feed is videos of Highland cows and particularly Highland calves, and I'm totally okay with that. I mean, I love all the videos of baby goats. Sorry. All the baby goats, please. All the baby goat videos. I just want I want goats so bad, and I know that they don't stay babies, but I still feel that a small herd of just pygmy goats that just sort of stay on the smallish side, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. And also Valley Black Nose sheep, please. Yes, please. And yet I live on this old Victorian, which was also a dream, which came true. So someday maybe I will have my little dream flock / herd, which might mean I have to move. But so I don't know. How do you do all the things? I don't know. So I watch them on Instagram and live vicariously through the content creators and, people who post their baby goats. And I'll have to just go down the road to Eichster's in the spring and play with the baby lambs and the baby kids when they're born and they have lambing and kidding days. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. Well, officially Happy New Year. Officially Happy 2026. I am about to upload the video that I recorded, the episode that I recorded between Christmas and New Year's. What? I had all the caffeine today. I'll talk about that in a second because it was worth talking about. Yeah, so it's a little behind. But the editing, I didn't go as crazy, but I did do some effective editing, I thought, in terms of cutting out things that just, really didn't need to be in there. Hopefully that you would thank me for if you knew what I took out, just because it was just like, we love you, but like sometimes you just remove it. And added a couple other fun things, and I feel like I'm getting the hang of it. It didn't take me 4 to 5 hours this time. I think I got it done in maybe a little over 2 hours altogether. I finished it up today. So that's gonna hit, and then there'll be a little pause. I'm gonna try to get this one edited, but I really wanted to get it out before this weekend. I'm not sure that's gonna happen. So if this is like a week or two later, oh well. But I want to shout out the Madison Knitters Guild. What are we calling it this year? It's the winter retreat. The Knitaway, I think it's called. Usually we go to this adorable little place, the Chalet Land House, in New Glarus, Wisconsin, and I love it. But it's small, and the conference room they have there is really pretty small, because the whole place is just a quaint little drafty chalet style, cute little hotel with a really cute little lobby, and the people are super nice and they love us, but kind of small. I mean, we just found out at the meeting this week, I think it's I'm gonna get this number wrong, 651 members, which is very cool. Could go us, go Madison Knitters Guild. And we usually, it's the retreat in January is typically limited to 50 people, just because of the size of the place that we have gone to in the past. So they, the guild wanted to, I'm sorry. The guild wanted to find a different venue this year so that we could expand it to 100 people. I don't think we got quite to 100, but I know we have more than 50. I think it's over 80, so it'll be a decent sized group, but I guess it's quite a large ballroom in a nicer, fancier resort this year. And then instead of being about 20 minutes from me, whereas this new place, I think it's like an hour and a half or something. So a little bit of a drive in the morning on Friday, but my knitting besties and I are all gonna ride together. Most of us we're missing Teresa this year. Teresa, if you're watching, we are missing you this year. It really sucks that you're not going to be there, and we're all saying today that we're gonna miss you a lot. We wish you were gonna be there. You'll be there in spirit, and we will toast you with coffee laced with Bailey's. So anyway, looking forward to it. I look forward to it every year since we first started going in January 2020 together. And that's I think where I kind of got a lot closer to the group that is kind of our core group now, which was very, very cool. And then the pandemic hit, so we didn't have it for I think 2 years before they brought it back. So it's a new change. I was just saying to my pals, my gals, that as I get older, and I blame the pandemic for this. I'm not blaming age, but I feel like a growing issue with anxiety, and just lack of tolerance for large groups and crowds and stuff, and not that I don't enjoy the people, but just there's something about that that just, like, no matter how much fun I'm having, no matter what kind of like-minded people, there's very few situations like that Disney where I can tolerate it for very long, and maybe because that's outside, I don't know, or a lot of it. But I got to the guild meeting on Monday this week, and it was just kind of like, whoa. It was pretty packed. We have a very large room at a community college close to where I work. And there were already, I think, most of the people there by the time I got there, which is awesome. Awesome. But I was feeling that. I was like, all of a sudden I felt like I was in flight mode. 'Cause not fight mode. It's my fellow knitters, but and I know so many of the people, but I just felt like oh my God, this is so much. And it's not something that I've struggled with my whole life. I feel like it's something that has kind of hit me in the last few years, and apparently is changing, and maybe worsening. We'll see. I do know that the last few years when I've gone, I've kind of needed the Monday to just be alone. Regardless of the fact that I had such a great time and I was around so many people that I don't get to see all the time, and all of my close, knitting besties and all of that. No matter what, it's just my social battery is like on a sliver of red at the bottom. And yeah, so we'll see. I'm hoping that the adrenaline and, happy override, and the knitting all weekend from dawn to dusk override, and I think it will, just kind of like similar to like the Disney override. But yeah, I took note of that on Monday, and I was like, my first thought was, oh my God, the retreat is this weekend, and like, ugh. It's not going to be this many people, but it's going to be a lot of people, and we're all going to be in, a lot of the time we're all going to be in this ballroom together. So we'll just see. Thanks, brain. Anyway, not to put a damper on that whole thing, because I'm like, I wanted to get on here and make sure that I posted, or at least if not posting before we go, recording an episode, because I wanted to say pre-retreat excitement. I am looking very forward to it. I'm very, very excited about it. My reaction on Monday, and I was like, I felt like that until, I was at the table with my other friends and the meeting started, and then I was like, okay, I'm here with my friends. It's fine. Like, I'm okay. Meanwhile, surrounded by, like I said, a lot of people who are friends, it was just like, it was a lot. It was just sensory overload. What is everyone doing in here? We're all knitting and crocheting. How is that too much of that kind of sensory overload? What is wrong with you? So, it was weird. And so hopefully, maybe it was just a mood that day. It was a Monday. Could have been a Monday mood. Maybe it was that. So it's a retreat. Herein lies the problem. There will be, normally there's one vendor, and I know of the one vendor. The one vendor is Sugar River Yarns. I know Stephanie's gonna be there, so that's cool. Hopefully we can get some time to spend together, maybe knit together in the evenings and stuff. So Stephanie, please bring your wheel. I know you're not gonna see this before you're there, so hopefully, we talked about it on Monday, so hopefully you'll remember, or you'll just make sure you get it packed. I know I'm probably packing a ton of stuff. Please don't pack anything to bring in Ven that I would like to buy, because I don't want to have to buy anything, but I know I will, and if you tempt me, I'll buy something. Just kidding. You can just bring whatever. Bring your best. Hit me with your best shot. I can't remember who the other two vendors are. Or I think it's just 3 vendors. Whatever. I can only remember Sugar River Yarns. I have to look it up. Tell us, who might the other vendors be? Oh, cool. I'm gonna just have to, ooh. Wish me luck. Wish me luck, guys. Okay. Anyway. I'm just gonna say this for, be strong. You can do it. Okay. I think the last 2 years I was like, yeah, I don't need anything. I'm not gonna buy anything. I'm just gonna look. And 2 years ago it was my friend Jay, and I'm hook and shuttle. And I was like, that's fine. I don't need anything. But he also had, was one of the first times I think that I got to see a roly-poly, and so he was winding stuff for people on the roly-poly, making really pretty balls, which didn't help because they also have really nice yarn. So yes, I bought some stuff. I started stuff. It's still sitting. I can see a basket right across the room from me on a shelf that's up really high. I can't see what's in it, but I know because I looked in there the other day. It's one of those projects from 2 years ago. There's probably 3 rows on the needles. I think it's a shawl. No, I know it's a shawl. Yeah, I need to take pictures of all of those projects from like the last 2 years in there, sitting there languishing UFO state in my closet or in a basket or a bag or something. Have them on my phone, so when I'm tempted this weekend to buy yarn, I can just be like, remember that? Remember. Or take those projects and be like, well, if you can finish these 4 shawls and Sophie Hood and all your other projects, work on those too while you're here for the next 2 days, then you can buy some new yarn. Sadly, I won't listen to myself. So we'll see. Stephanie, seriously, don't pack anything good, okay? Just don't. It's a problem because you have all good things. Darn it. If you heard that little doodly doot, that was a work text, so I'm gonna have to look at that as soon as I'm done here. Gotta pay the bills. I have the shows and tells that I have are my current whips, and one thing that popped, it just jumped into my bag the other day when I was at the Sausier buying some needles, and then I bought another pair of scissors because you can never have enough pairs of snips if you have multiple project bags. But then this skein of yarn from my friend Melissa hopped into my bag, and at least I couldn't find something to go with it, but it sounded like it might have been maybe a limited edition colorway, and so you'll see. Before I forget and before I yawn again, my caffeine source today is worth mentioning, except I don't remember. The cafe is like the other side of Madison in Sun Prairie, and a work colleague of mine one day came in. We have the same like favorite Starbucks drink, which is a brown sugar oat milk shake and espresso. But then one day she came in with this, and she had like a Mondo one that day, and we happened to be walking in from the parking ramp at the same time. Oh, what do you have? And she said it was a peanut butter cold brew, and I was like, peanut butter cold brew? Like coffee that tastes like peanut butter? Weird. But does it really taste like peanut butter? She let me have a sip of it, and it looks creamy. It looks like liquid peanut butter, and it tastes like liquid peanut butter. It tastes like peanut butter juice. Now, some of you might be going, that is freaking disgusting. Stop touching the microphone. It's not freaking disgusting. If you are a peanut butter lover and a coffee lover. So we were talking about coffee drinks yesterday, and I said, oh, do you have a peanut butter cold brew today? She's like, no, but are you going to be here later this week? Are you going to be here tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, I'm coming in tomorrow. She's like, I'll stop and get some. God, it was so good. It was so good. And it was it was like about the size of my head. Well, no, because I have a big giant head. It was probably the size of maybe my face without my hair. I mean, a big one. Well, probably not like, it was maybe the size of a venti. Who cares, really, Michelle? It was a big one. So good. So I'm a little caffeinated today. But yeah, it was worth mentioning because damn, I'm really glad. It's like Liv's Drink Emporium or something like that in Sun Prairie. I think I got that somewhat right. I'm just super glad it's the other side of where I have to ever go, because if it was like between here and work, I mean, it's bad enough that I I typically go in 2 to 3 days and then I work from home the rest of the week. And every time I go in, I stop at Starbucks and I get a venti something. So this one probably, a peanut butter cold brew has to have like 800,000 calories in it. I had the whole thing today, but oh, so good. So yeah, that's gonna be a once in a while, like maybe a couple times a year treat. That's it, cause wow. But I'm not even kidding. Like you couldn't tell it had coffee in it. It just tasted like liquid peanut butter juice. And I'm sorry if that sounds gross to you. It was delicious. If you love peanut butter and you think that you could drink it, if you like a peanut butter malt or like a peanut butter shake or like, you know, peanut butter ice cream, that's just like I mean, there aren't that many really good peanut butter ice creams that are like just a good peanut butter ice cream that don't taste like fake, like peanut butter yogurt that's kind of peanut buttery, but it's fakey tasting. If you really like peanut butter and you think you would drink a peanut butter drink, so yeah, I would be like, this is peanut butter juice. There's caffeine in this too? Okay, good. Because it didn't taste like coffee. The half did have more of a coffee. It was so good. I think next time I will do the half because it's kind of a different experience, but still really good. I'm still talking about peanut butter cold brew from this morning. So we're gonna move on. It was that good, you guys. It was that good. Okay, moving on. I'm gonna talk about my whips, probably the things that I'm gonna take. I haven't gotten any further on Gerald and Sarah's blankie, so I need to take that this way. I finished, well, let me back up. Peanut butter cold brew. And I kind of had spoilers in editing in the last video, that if you caught it before this one, it was the one that I did between Christmas and New Year's. That was, you know, the farewell 2025, but now you're not going to see it until 2026. So, you know, that's how it is. Now that I'm editing, that's how it's going to be. I did get through all of my gift knits. I did manage to finish Will's socks before they had to head back a little bit early to Washington State. However, it was literally the night I had to take them to the bus stop in Madison to meet the bus at 1:30 a.m. so they could get down to O'Hare in Chicago to get a plane back at 6 a.m. A little early because Anaya got an RA position, started training on the next day, Wednesday, and on Friday, the Friday before classes started this week on Monday, they offered my son Willem an RA position. So that's excellent because it's a giant chunk of change that he's going to be saving on his college, you know, expenses. Huge savings. But did you hear me say that Anaya started RA training on Wednesday? And it was like a 2-day training, 3-day training. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Hey, Will, we need another RA. Can you be an RA? I mean, duh, yes. No, I want to spend that extra, how many other 10,000, what odd, between 10 and 20,000. Let me just, yes, sure. I'll spend that money. So yeah, he was like, yeah. But he's like starting classes and dropping and adding and doing all these other things that were already like, he needed to do, and learning to be an RA while he's has a floor already. Like, the poor kid. Like, so everyone please send good energy to my son and Anaya. I mean, it sounds like for the second semester freshmen, they're like, they want to be out there bad. They're just doing what they can to, like, save money and yeah, that's why they're doing it. I think I'm sorry guys, any sane person would give it a year and then start, but they were like, hey, if we can save this for second semester freshman year, hey, they're young. full of energy and enthusiasm. So kudos for that. What does it have to do with knitting? I made them both Washington hats on the way out there in the summer. There it is. Okay. So I was taking them to the bus stop right after he tried them on. I was like, these are great. I love them. They fit. And I was like, I think the second one might be a little bit snug. He's like, I mean, they're a little snug, so maybe you do want to block them so they can be just a little bit bigger. So I have to block them and send them. So I finished those. I think I finished that one that night. Carter's second sock, both of those second socks. I showed you the first socks last time, one of each. Also, I got my nails done. I mean, they're a week out and they're not perfect and great. But I'm gonna have them redone next week because I'm the end. Anyway, yes. I made a huge deal, right, between September and October about the great sock experiment with needles. Yes? You know, flexi flips, 8-inch circular needles, and what I like better, and going down needle sizes, and a plain stockinette sock versus a 2x2 rib. Did I write a single thing down about what needles I used on which of those pairs, those six pair of socks that I made in 2 months? That is crazy. I'm like so proud of my sock mojo from last year. What are you proud of in 2025? Well, I was Rizzo in Greece. Didn't think I'd do that. Well, I bought my dream home. I really thought that was just a pipe dream. But you know what I did that I'm ultimately proud of? I knit 6 pair of socks in 2 months in 2025. Wow. Did I write a single damn thing down about what needles I used for which style of sock? No, not a damn note. Did I make multiple pairs at a time for different people over the holidays? Indeed I did. Did I work on Carter's first sock and Will's first sock at the same time, but then also knit Emma's socks somewhere in between, and some hats and stuff? And indeed I did. Did I knit Carter's sock with a different size flexi flip from Will's? I think so. Probably. No, I'm not sure. So I knit Carter socks. I'm pretty sure I went from Carter's first sock to Carter's second sock, having kept those needles together with that floppity yarn barf skein of yarn, ball of yarn, the green one. I know that I started both toes at the hotel in Chicago when Emma and I stayed down there the night that I took her down there and we had pizza. And I don't know if I told that story, but I dropped her off the airport. And then when she went to see her dad, I probably didn't tell that story. It's not worth it. But I think I started both toes at the same time, and I thought I was using the needles that I used for the first ones, but everything was in the same freaking thing, like those leather redesigned awesome project bags that I have. I just had all my socks in. Dumb. And all my socks and all of my flexi flips, which I now have another redesigned needle folder that my yarn daddy got for me for my birthday, which is next month, but I already have it, to keep them freaking organized. Yeah, I did all of that, and I never wrote anything down, so I haven't really learned it. I've got a lot of socks now, and I've used up some yarn, but I didn't learn a damn thing, so I guess I'm gonna have to keep going at that. And this year, not only am I going to make socks along the way, I probably won't make 15 pairs of socks, but I'm gonna write it down, what needle I used for me or whoever else I make a pair of socks for, what yarn I used and what pattern I used and all that. What is the point of doing a giant sock experiment without writing down any data, stupid? Do you do research for a living? Yes, I do. Wow. You should stop watching this podcast right now because I am a giant idiot. Don't do like that. Don't be like me when you're doing an experiment with things. Don't be like me when you're just knitting a project. Write stuff down. That is a goal for me for 2026 that I did not mention. I'm going to start writing it down. I do have I can't remember if I showed my little, I you know, it was one of those Instagram advertisement holes that I fell into last year. It's like a knitting journal it came with sticker. I mean, I'm going to try to use it. I love journals. I have lots of them. Almost all of them have maybe a couple pages with some writing in there. I love the idea of journaling. Emma, my daughter, Pokemon cross stitcher extraordinaire, is a phenomenal journaler. And I need her. She's my inspiration. Yeah, so one of these days I will grow up and be as good as she is with journaling. Where did I go? So, okay, I went back to what I did with gift knits. Will's sock didn't use the same size needle for the second one. Long story, very long, as I did the first one. And I think, where did I realize that? Well, I might have already done the heel. When I started putting my hand in there going, this seems really tight. It seems really tight. Yep, it was. So I had to take that sucker all the way back down and start way back at the toe. Actually it was, yeah, his, and then I think I restarted his second sock twice. Once for the needle size and once because I realized that maybe I'm getting these socks mixed up. They both got started multiple times because either I screwed up the needle size and it was too small, or I miscounted my increases, and one of them ended up like, I swear to God, the bitter end. Like I think I was like coming up on the end of the ankle. And I was like, this sock is way too freaking small. This sock is it's like tight on my arm. I mean, I guarantee you that Will's foot and lower leg are bigger than my arm. And I knew the other one had fit because before I started the second sock, for both of them, I'm like, try on the first sock. I'm gonna do the second sock exactly like the first sock. No. So I could have, because I finished Emma's second sock, didn't screw that up. That went like, and her hat and Carter's hat flew off the needles. That was pretty cool. And that's not, now I'm like, I love the Harlow flip hat. Oh my God. I'm excited to make Carter's mom, Amy, my friend Amy, hers because I love that so much. Yeah, all that went great. So I was like, for sure, I'm going to finish this hat and I'm going to finish both of those socks. Like, boom. Because I think what I said on the last video was that at the time that I recorded that, I had finished the toe and was starting on the ribbing for both of them. I was kind of like, little of this one, little of that one, little of this one, little of that one. And that's how far I was on those. they both got to be nearly complete socks, or like nearly finished socks, before realizing there was something wrong and they weren't the same, and then I had to. So consequently, I did not finish by the 31st, and I did not finish by Sunday after New Year's, like I was hoping. And I absolutely, positively, had I not made dumb mistakes, because these were literally pairs of socks number, I think, 14 and 15 on the year, and yet sock number 2 on both pair, like it was just like 2025 going, oh, you did better than you wanted to, huh? Surprise. You think you're so great knitting socks. Well, first of all, you didn't write a thing down. Well done. Second of all, you're not gonna make your deadline, and you're not gonna make your extended deadline. But I finished them by Wednesday last week, so, and I feel like that was longer ago than a week ago. Like, yesterday was a week since I took the kids to the bus stop. Well, I mean, in the morning. Oh, a week ago, yesterday morning at 1:30. It feels like farther out than that. It feels like 2 weeks at least. Time is weird. So that's the saga of the Christmas knitting project. I am so glad to be done, and I am happy as a clam to, one, work with the blankety bundle wool from Utopia, and to make a blanket for Gerald and Sarah, but at the same time, unless it's a sweater, because sweaters are my 2026 goal, I just want gift knitting to be done. Done. I am going to work on the blanket this weekend at the retreat. It does go really quickly, because it's just stockinette, so it'll be fine. It's just stockinette until the color changing part comes, and then it's interesting for a little bit, and then it's stockinette again. So the majority of the blanket goes zip, 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 zip. But anyway, I have been, in the last week since I finished those socks, I have not touched the blanket because I've been like, sweater whip time. So the first one I grabbed was the one I was like, all right, when last I left this sweater, I had split for sleeves. I wish I took a picture of this situation, because my grievous knitting faux pas number 1 was not measuring, not writing things down about socks that I was doing, needles and such. It was the grievous mistake that at some point months ago, and I feel like I split for sleeves. I remember trying that sweater on and having Tom help me go, am I ready to split for sleeves yet? When we were still over at the other house. And so yeah, I'm thinking that I worked on that sweater last, maybe in the summer, because after the sleeve split, I was only like maybe 1.5 inches below the sleeve split when I picked it up last week. And it is this one by Stephen West. And it is with the 2 colors of fiber optics held together that I got at Rhinebeck. That was my, if I was going to buy anything at Rhinebeck, and I bought more than one thing at Rhinebeck, the 2024, already, my brain's already 2026, and started on the bus on the way home. This was that yarn. So I was all gung-ho about it, and it's freaking super gorgeous. I don't remember if I've ever held this up before or not. It's a raglan, as you saw by the title. I have knit raglan sweaters before. I do know what I'm doing. So I cruised. I was like, I'm gonna have this sweater finished by the end of the month, and then I'm just gonna be on to the next whip, right? No, because I remember at some point kind of lifting it up, trying to figure out, where am I? And thinking, okay, well, it's just because it's on a needle and I'm having a hard time getting it to hang right. Why can't I get this sucker to hang straight so that I can really see how far down I am? It's because when I made the armholes, on one side I did the right thing. You know, when you got your raglan here, you got your raglan stripe, right? Where do they go? So you got your raglan on the one side of the shoulder, and you got your raglan on the back side of the shoulder too. Where the heck is it? This is not cooperating with my little theatrics here. Okay. And the sleeve hole goes in between the raglan things. On both sides now, not just on the one side, because you got arms on the same part of your body on both sides. You know, we don't have one arm coming out your back. Well, you might. But you're probably not knitting your own sweater that way, because it's probably hard if you did. Anyway, I don't know why I'm doing a weird accent, but indeed, one of my armholes was to one side of, was to both, yeah, not in between both of the raglan stripes, but all the way over to behind both of them, or in front of both of them. I don't even know now. And I was like, girl, what the... How were you, did you have some wine that day when you did that? Like more than, you know, reasonably could have been consumed while knitting? Apparently, if you did that, apparently that's possible. I don't know. I don't think so. I think I don't know. I honestly don't know what you know what, if it was last spring, it was probably like, Victorian-ass, I'm gonna get it. I'm moving in. And maybe I just had my head up my, I don't know. Clearly, for some reason, I had my head up my butt, because I just sat there going, I was gonna finish this thing by the end of the month. Thanks, past me, because now I'm not. So I am back at the split. And by God, I took this thing off of this giant needle. And look, I mean, I can't be mad at this sweater. I can't be mad at it. Look at it. It's gonna be so pretty when I wear it on my first episode. When I'm first wearing it, I'm just gonna be like, you guys just want to stare at my sweater for a little while? And I'll put some music on the back to think about, some kind of epic music to wear, and just, it'll be a short. I'll just have a short, and I'll be like, here it is, with music. And so I can't be that mad at it. And you know, it's just more knitting. I just get to knit on it more, get to experience it more. I would have been fine not experiencing it more, I gotta be honest with you. Especially because it's a sleeve split I gotta do again, and now I gotta make sure I got the right amount of stitches, because I had to do the pull it out. But I frogged this thing. I'm like, I'll be damned if I take this back. This is getting frogged. And so she's not in jail, because I can't put this baby in jail again, ever again. It needs to be an active whip. But that was 2026 sweater whip situation number 1. She's going to the retreat this weekend. Number 2. Wait, yes. Sweater whip number 2. But first, I was at the Sow getting some needles. I've been waiting for them, and I know that now probably by next week they'll have them, but I've been waiting for them to get in more Xiaogu 4-inch US 5 metal needles, because they've been out of the 4-inch size 5s, and I want those for, you know, the Harlow flips and other hats, because I cannot find my 4-inch size 5s. They're somewhere on something. I know I have at least one pair of 4-inch, and I have some 5-inch, and they're dry. They're just like, they're just too long for a hat. So I picked up some bamboo ones. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like them. I don't mind knitting with bamboo, but I don't usually. And I don't have any interchangeable Chaogu bamboo tips. I was being impatient. I'm like, if I want to work on Amy's hat this weekend, I'm gonna have to. And guess what jumped into my bag? Boom! I saw this from across the room. You look like you glow in black light. I know you do. This is her Midnight in the Dells base, which is 85% superwash merino, 15% neon Donegal, and DK weight. Why aren't you focusing? Focus fibers. Yay! How fun is that? We had a moment, she and I. Hey. Yeah. Hi. How are you? Well, I don't need any yarn right now, but let's see. Do you go with any of these other yarns? Oh, you would go really well with this one. Oh, it's a fingering yarn. Oh. Okay. I don't really want two of you. I don't think I can handle two of you. But I really think that you would go nicely with something else. But none of the other DK weights like you. I'm gonna have to wait, but I can wait. I can be patient for you. We'll find you something nice. Sorry. Anyway. Whoops, that went in my bag. So, this is my other whip that I'm working on. This is Nebula. I think I've held this up before. Nebula by my girl Andrea. And this is the Odang DK. That's look at that. It's like the same color. Ooh, do I like this color? Yes, I do. Probably should turn the light on. It's getting dark in here. It's getting dark outside. Anyway, this is a bottom up, not my fave, but you know, we roll with it. This is a business in the front, party in the back, high-low sweater. I think I started this before I lost a fair amount of weight. And so I was also in that, like, what size am I now? I'm already feeling like I was knitting things too big place. And so I think if I started this all over again, oh my God, sorry. I'm like, what's that on my shirt? I'm sorry. I'm not a professional. Where was I? Yeah, I would probably make the next size down. But oh well, I'm not starting this bottom up thing again. And I'm not frogging Surrey alpaca, even though it's gorgeous. Peanut butter cold brew, folks. I'm not sure that's the best place for one's microphone. I don't know. I'm sorry if you're all deaf. Anyway. Peanut butter cold brew makes you crazy. Yeah, so bottom up. So now I'm at the point where we're going flat in the front, holding the back with some barbar cord. And yeah, we're moving along on this one. So I'm taking this one too. This one and Mr. Marled Magic, was that it? I put something up there. I think it's Marled Magic. Anyway, these are whips for 2026, numbers 1 and 2. And they are both going with me this weekend. Anyway, this one's more of a tactile thing. Yes, it's a pretty color, but I probably won't have like a super special feature you know, where it's just me going, like for that spectacular, like retinal orgasm yarn combination. Yes, I did say retinal orgasm. I think you can appreciate it. I've got another one in this bag. It's small, but it's fiber optics too, and that's what I'm calling their yarn from now on. It's retinal O. It's a big retinal O. Look, it's going with the. I'm so predictable. Consistent. Anyway, also fiber optics. This was my fiber optics purchase when we decided at Sheep and Wool, Wisconsin Sheep and Wool this September, that we were going to do a knit along, our little knitting pal group. This is Hoodola, which I found out after I started it, that Hoodola is kind of like, sort of like Strange Brew from shame on me, shame. Anyway, where it's like the basics and then you can do whatever the heck you want with it. I'm just doing the basic thing, let the yarn speak for itself because hello. So I wasn't going to get anything from fiber optics this year because usually when I get something from fiber optics, it's been like a whole sweater or a giant shawl quantity of things. But I was like really sad about it because you know I love me some fiber optics yarn unless I'm caking it up. So when somebody mentioned, I think it was Lori, my friend Lori, hey, mentioned that idea, I was like, oh, well, an excuse to go in, and I probably don't have anything in my stash for that, so I probably should just go in there right now and get something from fiber optics. So I got, 2 skeins of this. This is Banshee in there. Blah, see you later. What's it called? It's like cashmere with a K. I think it is like merino cashmere nylon. Let me just hold this up one more time for you guys, because damn. Isn't it? Ugh. I mean, it's not yarn barf yet, but this is, it's got cashmere in it, people, so it's gonna be just a holy yarn barf. Right now it just looks like a yarn cake with a hat with some hair, like some crazy hair. It's crazy hair day. Look at that damn thing. Ugh. Did you ever look at that? Oh, look at that. Did you ever see anything so super gorgeous as fiber optics yarn? Probably not. I love it. So Hoodola is going with me too. I think I'm gonna take some socks. I think I'm gonna cake up that blue yarn, just because, hey, if I'm gonna be in a monthly subscription, I should probably get on it. Try to at least use that stuff. So I think I'm gonna cake up that blue sock yarn from last time, and I may get extra ambitious and cake up the yarn for Amy's hat, because I love the Harlow flip so much. You gotta start something at a retreat. And I could start another sweater, but that's stupid. Get these 2 girls done over here. The naughty fabulous gal from Fiber Optics and the super soft Surrey alpaca sweater. And just hold off on starting another one, because there's a couple more bags down here. I think that one's, you can't see it, but I think I'm looking at the bag that has Witching Hour started in it. That might be my next one after those 2. And then maybe starting Anaya's Ranunculus. I decided after watching, so I was watching, of course, last time, the video that just went up, or the video that went up right before this, when I was editing, I was, to that whole part about Ranunculus and buying more yarn for one for me and everything. And I was just sitting there like knit one first, just because everybody says it's awesome, but you're not going to necessarily be like, I can't wait to do another one of these. You might be like, I'm excited for this damn thing to be done, and I don't give a crap if I have one of my own. Maybe. So slow your roll, girl, and don't buy any yarn. And I think that idea that I had last time was fabulous. Now that Will and Anaya are like RAs, I'm still kind of like, do I get to see you guys in Into the Woods? It's kind of, I don't know. That seems like they're gonna need to clone themselves if they really want to do all of that, but we'll see. Oh, and one more show and tell. I'm super excited about this. We'll see how much I use it. But I did see this book when it was in pre-sale and decided to wait on it, see if I could get it at a local yarn shop, which I did unexpectedly when I was at the Sausier a couple of weeks ago buying some other needles. And by the way, my MO lately has been, I think I need this size of flexi flip, so I'm gonna go check it out. And okay, they don't have it, so we'll go all the way over the other side of town to get it at this other store. Oh, they have it, I get them, and then I get home and I'm like, I had this size. Honestly. But one of the times that I went into the Sow to look for needles that I may or may not have actually needed, they had this book. And this seems like a good book for me, especially because I still have this, like, you know, maybe 5-year plan now to maybe design something at some point that actually needs to fit somebody. And I need to make friends with the math of knitting, because that is actually taking two great tastes that taste horrible to me together, because I hate math. I hate it. I hate math. So it's like the polar opposite. So hate math, love knitting. I need someone to make it easy for me. And apparently Kate Atherley does. Apparently this is a really handy book. So I'm excited to have it. And it's not going to help me get better about not whapping my microphone. And now I'm wondering how many times I've actually whapped my microphone this whole time, and how much people have stopped watching at this point, because I have deafened them and they're pissed at me for ruining their eardrum with my microphone whapping. Anyway, yeah, so excited about this. And I started reading it a little bit, and I'm hoping that it, like, I'm not a gauge swatch hater. But I'm like, this about gauge swatches. Oh, come on, let's go. I did do a gauge swatch for the hood. And I'm a gauge swatch knitter where I'll be like, okay, well, if this, then I'm just gonna, maybe I'll just try that. See if I can, for example, maybe that wasn't the best way to explain it, but the way that Laura Nelkin wrote that, the directions in that pattern about the swatching piece, maybe I'm gonna get this wrong, but if I do, then I'll edit it. Basically, knit your gauge swatch for this many stitches per 4 inches, and, you know, do this, knit to here, measure it, and then block it, soak it, let it dry, shake it up, let it fluff out, let it, like, get all where it wants to be, and then count your stitches. And if it's like between here and here, like this is where you want to be. If it's between here and here, but it's no worse than here, don't re-swatch. I mean, it's a hood. It's basically like a balaclava. It's like a cowl with the hood, and you can flip the cowl up so it's like over your nose and mouth, or not, but also a hood. That's supposed to be kind of a loose hood, which I think is going to be cool because, you know, I love my Harlow flip, but unless I don't give a rip or I'm wearing a hat because I did not shower and I have to run to the store or whatever, and my hair just looks like crap because, you know, as you can imagine, I get really dumb looking bedhead. Like I try to make it look like bedhead, but the actual bedhead, like Kramer looks better than my actual bedhead. Anyway, that's when I wear hats. But this hood idea, you know, she specifically says it's, you know, for like curly girls, so you're not like crushing your hair. But that's a different hair need for a hat. But I'm thinking, this might be actually good for me so that, you know, I can not mess up my hair. Stop. So paranoid now that I'm like really being obnoxious with this microphone. Yeah, so we'll see. And it's kind of an interesting construction because it's like you do a Judy's magic cast on, right? Because it's Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off. Right. Judy's magic cast on that I've done for socks. I think for all the toe-up socks that I've done. I love a Judy's. It's sort of like doing a giant sock, but it's like with where it's sock on one end and it's open on the other. And you just like make it, you know, you like, instead of doing like 10 or 12, whatever. Well, you're doing 10, but it's like 5 and 5, right? I think it was like 130. So it was like, I don't know, 65. Did I just do the math right in my head? Math for knitters. If you've ever done look it up. It's fun. Anyway, it's a cool construction because it's sort of like a giant sock toe, but it's only closed on one side. Some things are only self-amusing, not amusing to the masses. That's okay. Okay, that's about it. Just over an hour. And when I edit some things out, it might be under an hour. We'll see. Depends on the kind of Wisconsin goodbye I'm about to give you guys. Anyway, I'm also going to stop saying that at the end of these. Kind of like I stopped saying what episode number it was at the beginning after a few episodes. I'm just kind of amused because I'm like, oh, an hour and 5. And, you know, I say that a lot at the end. I'm like, oh, we're an hour and whatever. Blah. But then realizing that if I edit, shut up. Peanut butter cold brew. I'm blaming it. I'm blaming that. Yeah. Blaming the peanut butter cold brew. So my knitting pals this weekend are going to be very happy that I don't have access to that during the weekend because, man. Okay. Although I probably won't be feeling anxiety. I'll just be the opposite. I'll just be like, hey, oh. I think this is sort of pre-retreat giddiness. You know, I have one more work day this week and then I have a long weekend and that's going to be fun. So, yeah, I will report back. Maybe I'll get another couple shorts done out there. I still haven't done the hand things yet that I talked about. So I'll probably, that's a short idea that I might have to do. Anyway, I hope you have something fun that you're doing. I know that at least one of you, Jill, I will see you this weekend. I'm excited to see you again. It's been a long time. I think it's been since, what was that? I feel like I've seen you since the last retreat, but now I can't remember when that might have been. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, I know I'll see Jill and a few other people maybe that are watching this. But other than that, if that's not you, I hope you're doing something fun this weekend with knitting. If you're not retreating it. I hope you're getting out there and getting your fiber on somewhere. And that's about it.